Hello, I'm Rodney.
Ooh.
This is Brandon. We're here for Box Office Banner. We are about to rank the Fast and the
true.
Furious saga franchise.
Tyler decided to sit this one out for some reason. He's the biggest fan of this franchise of the three of us, and he thought he just wasn't worthy enough to do it. I don't know what's going on.
Makes zero sense.
Poor choices, people. Anyways, we got 11 movies here,
We got
actually.
11.
Because you got Hobbs and Shaw on there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
What's your 11th?
Okay. My number 11 comes in at, big surprise, F9, the Fast Saga,
Oh, fuck, man.
with a solid 3.1 score.
Dude.
Um,
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So F9 is a 3.1 at number 11.
That's beautiful.
My number 10.
Okay, you just want to run it in? Go 11 through up to 5, and then I'll do 11 up to
You're-
5.
Okay. All right.
I think that might be interesting.
My number 10 is Fast and Furious, the fourth one.
Whoa!
With a 5.0.
Oh!
Not the biggest. It actually went up this viewing. I've never been a fan of this
Mine
movie.
too.
My number 9 is Fate of the Furious with a 6.0.
Damn, okay.
That's Fast and Furious 8 for I don't know.
Beautiful.
It went up a hair on this one. This one's always been just existent.
Facts.
My number 8 will be Fast X at a 6.5. It might actually go up next watch. We'll see. Let's see. My
thinking
number
about Dante.
7. Yeah, Dante's so dope though. My number. Oh, am I on 7?
I believe so, yes. Yeah.
Okay, my number 7 would be Hobbs and Shaw at a 7.2.
Okay.
I actually enjoy Hobbs and Shaw as much as Idris Elba is, the Black Superman or whatever the fuck. They
I
call
dig
him and
it,
shit.
though.
The movie's an enjoyable fucking movie to watch,
I like Idris, though.
and it's a great theater movie too. Oh,
Mhm.
Idris is awesome. Number 6, Fast and the Furious 6. I like Fast and the Furious 6,
Oh, damn.
but it's not top 5 material for me. But I do enjoy it.
Did you rate it?
Oh yeah, 7.6 for Fast and the Furious 6.
Okay. I'll go from here. My number 11 is Fast 9
No.
at a 3 out of 10.
Oh, so I liked it 0.1 more.
Yeah, it is even worse than I remembered. It is so bad. There's no way. Is it? Ugh. Yeah, dude, between the backstory that makes me go "Ugh," every time it's on, bringing characters back, having no charisma or anything engaging amongst all this fucking
ridiculous
wreckage.
nonsense.
It's just not. Space is
This-
boring.
With duct tape.
John Cena's terrible. There's nothing good about this movie. That's a number 11. Number 10, Fast and Furious.
Oh shit.
I've also never liked this movie. It went up for me as well, but it went up again. My score is lower to a 4.5. It is. I think it's about a 5 for me, but then when I think about like how underwhelming it is, still, it's just like I don't know.
It really is. It
It's-
has a couple redeemable
that
moments, but
it's like 9 is. I think that's why at the bottom is these ones evoke the least amount of emotion out of me. They're just the dullest
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
They have me just like the entire time.
it's like, let's get through this. We can fast forward this scene.
yeah, but the villains are trash.
Oh, absolutely.
They're so dry. But I do love the scene when the one dude that supposedly killed Letty, when he ramps the fucking car up, he does the fucking pops the wheelie and slams into him.
Oh,
that is
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah.
That's an
Yeah.
amazing kill. Other than that, not really much here. Good opening, I think, too. Number 9 for me, Too Fast, Too Furious.
Interesting.
I loved this movie when I was a kid, but like I said, the first one's nostalgia aged a little better for me, even though it's cheesy as shit. This one's cheesiness didn't age as well for me on the nostalgia train. Tyrese in this movie, he just isn't Roman to me. When Roman's just like goofy the whole time, it's funny, but when he's trying to be like, come on, bruh, like that type of Roman, I don't know if it's... Yeah, it just didn't. Yeah, it did not work as well. It was more like it was half and half for me. Cole Hauser's actually a pretty good villain, but then at least for this franchise. And then fuck, what's the other thing? Oh yeah, just other things that cringed me out. Like there's a moment where like Paul Walker's character Brian's just like, "I'm serious, cuh." He says that shit in the movie. It's
that
just
part
like
is cringe. Yeah.
it's just dude. It's still good, and the fucking racing is like CGI. This one feels the most Need for Speed fucking video game to me. It just doesn't work as well. Number 8, Hobbs and Shaw. This one's solid. There's great chemistry between the two leads, but also, do we need it? If this would have came out in the middle of 5 and 6 when I was hyped, it's like, okay, let's take this little vacation. But after 8, though, it's like I'm already waning. I don't need a side mission. Like, I'm barely hanging on. Doesn't really work as well. Number 7, Furious 7.
Interesting.
This movie, I forgot, it went down for me. This is where it jumped the shark and went way too crazy with everything. Dom's driving off cliffs. There's just brunt force damage that we're seeing play out nonstop, and everybody's okay. This movie's got a little too much of that. Still good, though. Did I give Hobbs and Shaw a score? I don't know if I did. 6.9 out of 10 for that. And Too Fast, Too Furious was 6.5. I fucked that up. Furious 7 is a 7 out of 10. It's still really good, but barely. And number 6 for me, Tokyo Drift. Underrated. This is the best racing movie in this movie, if you want to talk about flat-out racing. It's just a solid watch, and I think it does benefit from, like, going in. Every time you're like, this one's going to suck, and then you're like, no, it still does not suck. It's a fun, feels more like B movie amongst the crew that I like watching. Guilty pleasure for sure. That's my number 6 at a 7.2 out of 10. What's that top 5 looking like, dude?
Top 5 Fast and Furious franchise. Number 5 goes to The Fast and the Furious, number 1, the first one.
No way.
At a 7.9. I've always enjoyed this movie, but like a lot of people in this world, this is a blatant ripoff of Point Break, like the first Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, it's got that
which
vibe.
is easy to look past, but this round of watching, I was just like, I've seen this enough to where I'm like, I can go without watching this movie, anymore, honestly. It kind of, score-wise, went down a little bit, but still hitting top 5 is 7.9. My number 4 is Too Fast, Too Furious. I am a sucker for this movie.
I can tell. That's insane.
Since I was a kid, too, like the Skyline, that's when I was introduced to a Skyline, and then the Evo. I don't know what it was about Paul Walker driving that Evo, but it makes me happy. And then Cole Hauser is the villain.
He's good.
Awesome. It's incredible. And then Eva Mendes up in there. And it's a lot of racing.
I'm surprised she hasn't
CG
came
racing.
back in some way.
She has in the post-credit scene
Did she?
of, what was it, Fate? It was either Fate or 7. She was in the post-credit scene. She's
See, I didn't stay for it.
Letty was back.
Yeah, I didn't stay for it, but I remember something like that, too.
But yeah, so Too Fast, Too Furious is an 8.1 for me. Number 4. Top 3. Number 3. Tokyo Drift with an 8.3. Like you said, everybody just hates on this movie for no fucking reason. Jamie's like the only other person besides you that I know that like loves this movie. And this movie, the reason it's in the top 3 is because it is the one movie in this franchise, which you kind of covered, where it's strictly racing. It's about racing. Like Fast and the Furious was, but there was also about heists and shit. The second
Too
one
Fast is the closest.
It's the closest one.
But it's drama, racing second still.
Right.
This is racing
first,
and then
drama.
Yeah.
Yes. So
100%.
I love Tokyo Drift. That's my number 3 at an 8.3. Number 2.
You gonna save the last 2?
Yeah.
You gonna come back to it? Fuck it. Let's do it like that. My number 5 is Fate of the Furious. This one went up, dude.
That's crazy.
Because this one, oddly enough, kind of for me at least, kind of dialed back the craziness. Now, like you said, with The Rock,
To an extent,
there is, but there, again, it's not a parking garage scene where a person's flying off of it while it's crashing, hitting a helicopter, planting grenades on the way down, and face planting.
Right,
It's just, it's cars that are automatically controlled falling off. Like the set pieces were a little more dialed back. The Rock didn't take a vacation on this one. He's like my favorite character, like going forward from
and
5
and Diesel
upward.
were feuding in this movie too.
Yeah, and number 7, he was laid down in a hospital bed the entire time. This
But he
one
was badass at the end.
Yeah, and oddly enough, dude, I love the fight scene at the prison. That shit is fucking dope to me. With
For
Statham.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
that
No,
shit's
that's a great
fucking
fight
sick.
scene.
I just enjoyed this one more this
That's
time
nice.
around. That's very nice of
That
you.
is nice.
Yeah, number 4 is Fast X. Surprisingly, I did not see this come into my top 5. Fate of the Furious 7.2 out of 10, by the way. Nothing great yet. Number 4 is Fast X. It's 8.2 out of 10. We just talked about it. I don't need to say too much on it. In general, I don't know it's a ranking. Dante, that's all you gotta say.
Dante.
And then number 3, the Fast and the Furious, the OG. I still fucking eat this movie up, dude. I love it. I don't know what it is.
It's got some great racing in it.
It
dude.
does.
Like Race Wars, I love
And
Race
this
Wars.
feels the best. This is the best Vin Diesel performance to me, by a mile. There's something about Diesel in this movie that like he just feels like that
I
off.
never even thought about looking into that in all these movies.
The other
Every
ones, it
time-
feels like forced. Like this one just feels natural. Like he's just like, all right, what the fuck's going on now? I got to be Big Brother.
He's just a mechanic.
Yeah, he's
That's
just
it.
chill, and that like the feeling of like the instant, like I called it bromanship between him and Paul Walker, where it's just like they just they just felt like they were meant to be friends, and then like just seeing his face when they had to call in Vince,
Dude.
and then he's just like, "You gotta be kidding me," and then
Heartbroken.
yeah, and that mutual respect at the end, like I owe you a 10-second call with that. It's just fucking, it's perfect for this type of movie. It's good. What's that top 2 for you, Doug?
My top 2, obviously.
8.4 out of 10 for Fast, the original to me.
Fast 5 is in the top 2, but which spot comes in at number 2?
Oh, damn, dude.
Fast 5 comes in at an 8.5. Some call this a Citizen Kane of the franchise. It basically
Franta?
is. The Frank.
Really?
But yeah, no, Fast 5 is, dude, The Rock coming into play, the fight scene between Rock and Vin Diesel is like one of the great fight scenes in like action.
Yeah.
It's just the story of it was legit. They were crazy in this movie, but not too crazy. You know what I'm saying? They did a couple, like, they were not going to survive the cliff jump on that Corvette. Or
No, it was
Mustang, whatever
fun.
it
This
was.
is where it was
A lot of
fun.
fun,
And it was
yes.
over the top, but it hadn't waned yet.
And then this is like when you saw people again like Vince, you were like, "Ee!" Like
Yeah.
it was good to see people return. Whereas now
Yeah.
it's like, fuck, dude.
I
you
mean, we
know?
got that a little bit in the fourth one, but not as many people.
Right,
but the
right.
fourth one was just, but they failed and came back.
Yeah.
That's another problem with the fourth one. It feels so uneven amongst the franchise. It's just like, why do we even do this? Let's jump to 5.
Well, 5 is also like the most like I think like gritty out of the franchise. It's
Yeah.
the most like because I think it's so heavy on like military on foot as opposed to like all this tech and fucking planes and all that shit. So I really enjoy it. And but that only leaves room for one more. My number 1. The one and only Furious 7.
That shocks me.
I fucking love this movie, and I will go on and say I'm biased toward this movie.
Oh, yeah?
Because James Wan directed this movie.
Ah,
So
yeah.
that's one reason I love it so much. But the fight scenes in this movie, the camera work in this movie, like all that to me is like a 10 in this movie. Like, except for Paul Walker getting the upper hand on Tony Jaa, that would never
Nah.
happen in a million fucking
Obviously.
years. But I do like their fight scenes, and I like how Tony Jaa
they're
got him
too
caught
slow.
behind the cage and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, like that shit is awesome.
Yeah.
They get carried away on some things. I get it. The cliff dive in the car, ridiculous, absolutely. But
I died laughing.
the Rock coming out with the fucking minigun. It's
That's
like,
amazing.
Who's that? It's
Love
Hobbs.
that.
It's like, he's like, no, I ain't, woman. And it's like, I'll get him, Hobbs. And he's just mowing shit there. I love.
Statham
I
was a
eat
good
Furious
villain
7
at the
up.
time before they switched
Statham
him.
was the best villain in the franchise because Cole Hauser to me was the best villain until Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, and
until
Statham.
Vince Vaughn. Jason Statham.
I'm like, huh?
And,
I just imagine Vince Vaughn as a villain.
but dude, the scene where him and Dom actually play chicken and actually collide, like
That was the
never
first
happens, dude. Like they always like someone veers off, but they fucking and then the windows shaking, like when the engines are revved, dude. Everything about
See,
this
that was
movie.
another scene for me because when that happened, it was like another one of those brunt force, like, come on.
Yes.
Because there's so many scenes in this franchise where you're like, okay, if you, like, it doesn't happen to him in the movie, but you're like, if that happened in real life, you would die. In this movie, there's like actual scenes where I'm like, oh, it happened to him, and they're still alive. Like, they just fucking head-on collision, and Statham's just like, pop my
Crack the
neck,
neck,
and then get
yeah.
out. It's like, bro,
Vin
what the
Diesel
fuck?
like shrugs his shoulders.
Yeah,
He's okay.
like there is some brunt force collisions in this movie that are
But
just
yeah,
like shook off
Statham-
like it's nothing.
Statham stole the show in it. So, but yeah,
It's good, though.
8.9
It's
for me
good.
actually.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
what'd you rate the last one?
8.5.
The Fast
Fast
Five,
Five.
8.5. Okay, my last two. This is interchangeable. It changes every time I watch it, just to be different because it really can go either way. My number 2 would be Fast 5 at an 8.9. Love this movie. The Rock's a weird one because to me, I'm like, when I think about it, he's actually the best fucking villain in this franchise. But at the same time, he's not like crime mob, street racer villain. He's the cop. So it's kind of hard to look at him that way. But if you treat him, because he's the main one that's after the motherfuckers, like, and he won't sleep until they're put away. Even when he's joining up with them, he's like, you know I can't let that fucking happen, right? Like, and you believe it. Like, he's just a G. Great fucking villain if you want to look at him that way, even though he becomes a part of the crew. This movie hyped up everything, amped everything up, just put a jolt of energy into the franchise. I can't thank it enough for that. 5 is dope, 8.9 out of 10. Next one, 6.
Oh, shit.
Same thing, number 1, Fast 6, 8.9 out of 10.
Oh, shit.
This one is dope. Everything that Fast 5 is, except the characters got even more comfortable and grew together more. 5 and 6 is the peak of that grouping of characters to me. Rome and Tej were like funniest. And it hadn't quite jumped the shark yet because 5 didn't do anything to where, like, it was roll my eyes with movie magic. 6 was the first one. There was one scene that happened.
The airplane.
Not the airplane. The airplane, I could.
It's too much for me, bro.
See, I can roll my eyes at that. Doesn't bother in the never-ending runway.
It's, yeah, it bothers me.
Yeah, but it doesn't bother me. The one scene that gets me is when they're on the fucking freeway and then Shaw, the brother Shaw.
Oh, the tank scene.
Where the tank's even fine for me. It's when, this is the type of craziness I'm talking about. When Letty gets launched into the air and Dom leaps and grabs her in midair and slams into the window on the other overpass.
Good windshield.
But here's the thing. Since it was the first time I'd seen anything like that, to where, like, that's the first time, again, there's action scenes that are like, okay, that's crazy. But this is like, are you fucking kidding me? There's a difference in that. You give me an are you fucking kidding me like once, I'm like, okay, it's funny. I got to 7, and then the boom, 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 all the crashes and shit that happened, they were scot-free. I was like, there's too many are you kidding me's. So there's only one of those in this movie. These 5 and 6, I think, is peak over-the-topness. Chemistry with everybody new, Fast and the Furious, and they're why they're at my top 2. It's 8.9
I think we get
10.
the best Roman out of Furious 7. Honestly, I think Roman was at his best in 7.
And they kind of integrated martial arts a little bit in 6. You got Joe Taslim in there, and I love that scene. Like, the fight's okay, but I love how Roman's like, nobody needs to know about this. He's talking to Han. He's like, I mean, nobody. He probably thought he just went and told, he just didn't tell Mr. Nobody's what happened. He told everybody else. But yeah, nobody needs to know about this.
Pretty, almost not the same, but.
Our 2 least favorite are the same.
Yeah.
So props there.
Furious, or Fast and, that's my number 6. These your number 1. I think your Furious 7 is number 6 too, actually.
Ah, dude, I think so. Somewhere, it might be 5. I don't know.
But you have no love for Too Fast.
Nah, I like it. I do like it a lot. That's Fast, guys. We're done. No more Fast and Furious talk, at least for the next one. Then we'll re-rank them.